So next, I'd like to welcome my friend Anne Connelly from Singularity University. She's going to talk about how, what do we got, a novel going on blockchain? Like,
we're making a graphic novel that teaches kids about blockchain. And I'm actually joined by my co-author and the artist of the graphic novel, Chief Nyamweya. He's here as well.
Oh, great.
Hi. Great to be here.
To see you. All right. Well, look, I'm fascinated by what this is going to be. So take it away.
Okay. So should I start or you start, Anne?
Yeah, go for it, Chief.
Okay. About 2 years ago, was it probably 2-3 years ago? It blends in my mind now. Anne approached me with this concept. She was on the blockchain faculty of SU where we had met, and she wanted to do a graphic novel about blockchain because she believes that education is super important for adoption. And my first question is that what problem does this solve for us? Because in my part of the world, in Kenya, we are not new to digital currencies. In virtually every village that you can go to, we have M-Pesa, and mobile money is even more widely used than in the US. And so her response to me was that what it solves is trust. And that's when I sat up and started listening. And, I was like, already the associations that came to my mind with this word began to explode, because this is a huge problem that I see in how we work. The lack of trust makes everything much more expensive, much more inefficient, and basically it takes the joy out of work and business and life as a whole. So I took some time away and I thought about it. And as I was ruminating, maybe we can move to the next slide. The brief that she had given me was that, can you tell a story that would inspire 1 million people? And, she was already familiar with my work. She'd already supported my previous graphic novels. And, it was an interesting and unlikely pairing that we had. So as I continue to ponder this problem and see how we can reach the widest audience possible and continue to unpack the idea of trust, she was supposed to visit Kenya a little bit shortly after that. And as I was looking for presents to get for her, we came upon this. And we can go to the next slide. What you're looking at is the Wahenga necklace. It's a very common item if you're familiar with Kenya, if you've lived in Kenya or familiar with pastoralist culture in Kenya, not just the Maasai, but the Samburu and Turkana. You can see one behind me. When a woman is getting married, they wear this, and it's not just a decoration. It's also a way of communicating. It's also a way of keeping history. Who has married whom? Which clan? What happened where? And if you like, you can think of this as an early, what's the word I'm looking for? As an early forebearer of what we think of now as like an immutable ledger. Of course, it's not as immutable as what we have with the blockchain, but I thought it would be a really good analogy that is already rooted in African culture, and it would be a way to further explore the whole idea of trust. And once Anne saw this, she loved the concept, and everybody else who's seen it since has been inspired. Like, wow, where is this going? And I think we'll see a lot more about this when she shares the video that we did on the first episode of the book. Next slide, please. So after I had a rough concept, after I had a rough idea about how I wanted to start unpacking and merging this also with a basic blockchain curriculum, explaining what decentralized ledgers are, etc. I had to find a character that could carry this story, and Mora was the character that we came up with. And she's evolved a lot since this early stage when I was determining her dress. We lost the cape, but of course we kept the Wahenga necklace. Next slide, please. These are early slideshows when Mora meets with her grandmother, and her grandmother explains why the Wahenga necklace, what it meant for the culture, how we kept our history in this way. And this is basically just going deeper and deeper, and you'll be able to see as we go into the story how it deepens the curriculum. Next slide, please. So from the storyboards, you have better developed drawings. These were the drawings I was making that were going to become the graphic novel. And this is her interaction with a policeman. You can see we took the opportunity to throw in an Ethereum logo on her earrings. I thought it would be a nice touch. Next slide, please. This is now the digitization version of the slides as we were building the story of trust. Basically, I drew everything in layers so that it would work both as a graphic novel and as a motion comic. When we give it to animators, we do very basic animation without lip syncs and walk cycles, just to make it efficient and, you know, just really get people excited, because my idea was that if you really want people to fall in love with a subject, you don't just hit them bang on the head with it. You do what, I don't know if you've seen the film There Will Be Blood, where Daniel Day-Lewis is playing an oil prospector. It's a film that's almost entirely about oil and the oil trade, but it's also a genre film. And you can follow it as a genre film, but in the process of following the story, you learn all these things. Or like Wolf of Wall Street, it's as much about you know, the stock market as it is about you know, a person's ambition and their drug problems, etc. It's a human story at the end of the day. Next slide, please. This is a closer look at Mora. You can see how she's evolved since the early character sheets. And she's the one who, she's basically a stand-in for me and my own education journey. As I started to use wallets, and I started to accept payments for my books in crypto, and also learn how to trade, also lose money, and, you know, just go into the whole world. It would better inform all the choices that Mora went. So I'm kind of living a parallel journey that Mora is also living. And yeah, it's fun. Next slide, please.
So thanks, Chief. It's been super interesting to kind of learn about the process of creating a graphic novel. But as Chief mentioned at the beginning, our fundamental goal was to educate over 1 million African teens about blockchain and get them inspired about the technology, and started on their journey to becoming crypto owners, developers, and entrepreneurs. And so in order to reach this goal, we want to make the book as accessible as possible. And so we're creating a mobile-first digital version, and we're giving it away for free, and trying to share it as much as possible. And one of the other things we're trying to do is we're actually going to expand the project. We're raising funds right now to be able to turn the book into a full motion comic. And so I wanted to share with you today just a 1-minute clip of what that motion comic would look like.
Makoro? Mora. May the Wahenga bless you more.
Makoro, your necklace is so beautiful.
Thank you. It is a map of Wahenga history over many lifetimes. A colored bead for every newborn, and a white bead for each of our dearly departed. With every new cycle around the sun, our community grows. This way, no matter how far we live from one another, we will always be family and always trust one another.
So you can catch the full 5-minute clip at our website, trustgraphicnovel.com. And we're hoping to turn that into an actually full-length motion comic over the next year, which is pretty exciting. So as I mentioned, this is just taking new crypto owners from 0 to 1, getting them inspired. And so the next step for them is really to connect to education partners all across the continent who can help take them further and onward into the community. So we've been able to partner with some incredible organizations from across the continent, from South Africa, Rwanda, Kenya, and we're always looking for more that can help us just build that community so much better. And lastly, we want to thank all of the partners who've helped us make it this far and made it possible for the book to be free and accessible to everyone. We've had great support from all across the blockchain community, from Interchain, Algorand, Consensus, and most importantly from Gitcoin grants, from community members just like you who've helped to actually bring this book to life. So if you'd like to make a donation to help us make our motion comic, we would absolutely love your support on Gitcoin grants. And you can find us on trustgraphicnovel.com. Thanks so much for listening today, and we hope you'll all support the book.
Thank you very much.